The Sound of Freedom is taking over the box office just a week after Indiana Jones comes out, and people like CNN, obviously the woke media, do not like it, and they're trying to bury this movie. That's why it's not in as many theaters as movies like Indiana Jones, obviously for other reasons as well, as it doesn't have as big of a budget, doesn't have as big of a marketing budget, and just doesn't have as big of a name draw as movies like Indiana Jones have. But they're also doing really, really bad things in order to censor this movie, in order to get people to not see this movie. They're refunding tickets for no reason, and we'll go over that as well. And they're also doing stuff like CNN is doing in this clip right here that I just find extremely evil, extremely disingenuous, extremely bad faith. But you all know why they're doing this. They're trying to protect the elites. They're trying to protect their side of things. Let's check out this clip, man. It's some evil stuff that companies like CNN are doing, but it's not just CNN. It's a lot of other woke news outlets as well. Let's check these out, man.
These films are created out of moral panics. They're created out of bogus statistics. They're created out of fear. And with something like Sound of Freedom, it specifically is looking at QAnon concepts of these child trafficking rings that are run by the high-level elites, and only people like Tim Ballard and only people like Jim Caviezel, and by extension, only people like the ticket buyer can.
This guy doesn't know about that Jeff guy that died in jail. Does he not know about that? This is not some QAnon conspiracy theory stuff, man. Also, you can take a look at his name down there on the bottom left. His name is Mike Rothschild. Just thought I'd bring that up, just wanted to give the guy credit where credit is due. If you know, you know.
Help bring these trafficking rings down. So there's a very participatory element. You're not just going to see a movie, you're just killing 2 hours on a hot day. You are helping bring down these pedophile rings and save children. Now, it's not true, but it's a very comforting and it's a very warm feeling to have.
Look, I haven't seen the movie, but a lot of people that I've talked to who have seen the movie don't necessarily get a warm feeling from the movie. They're like a little bit disturbed, and I think it has somewhat of a happy ending. I don't know for a 100% fact, but I don't think that this is some like heartwarming thing that this movie is exposing. I think it probably does have a happy ending, and you do feel a little bit heartwarming at the end, but the fact that these like pedo rings are being exposed is not a heartwarming feeling at all. And to try to spin this as some QAnon conspiracy theory, which it's a very common trend in all of these woke media outlets, it's just disgusting, man. And like Drew Hernandez says here, it's demonic. CNN talking heads are now saying I can't say that, but movie Sound of Freedom is created out of bogus statistics and QAnon concepts. I'm pretty sure Sound of Freedom is based, at least loosely, off of a true story. So to try to say that it's bogus statistics and things, it's just not true, man. It's disgusting what woke companies and corporations like CNN and a lot of the other ones that we'll go over are willing to do in order to protect their narrative, in order to protect the elites of the world that run their companies, man. It's just gross. But Jack Posobiec here brings up a very, very interesting point. There's been a few videos that come out to support what he's about to say here. I know there have been a few videos about this theaters without AC thing that regards Sound of Freedom, and I have no idea if it was just one place or not. In the comments, have you had tickets for Sound of Freedom refunded due to lack of AC or other issues? And a lot of people replied here and gave their stories. And Jack Posobiec also responded to that and said, I've been hearing issues in Loudoun County, Virginia, a theater in Texas, and another in North Carolina, talking about Sound of Freedom theaters and tickets being refunded for Sound of Freedom for no reason, or because they're saying their air conditioning is under maintenance. As you can see right here, my theater had more than half the seats refunded on Wednesday night. Air conditioning is not working. Sorry for the inconvenience. And there's a lot of other people who are saying the same thing. The lights didn't go down and sound didn't change from preview volume to movie sound until 15 minutes into the movie. And he has a long story about that as well. Scottsdale, Arizona tonight, the theater was uncomfortably warm, and I remarked about it to my son when we left. I mentioned how I almost brought a sweater because theaters are usually freezing, but this one was not cold at all, but quite warm. So it's like they're trying to break all of the ACs or turn all the heaters up to try to get people to not see this movie. Here in Austin, Texas tonight, no AC, audio at half volume. At the absolutely packed movie theater where I saw this, the AC cut out halfway through and it got uncomfortably warm until someone complained to an employee to turn it back on. So it's just insane the lengths that these people will go to get people to not see stuff like Sound of Freedom. And then, of course, not only do we have CNN with this really evil stuff that they're trying to say that the movie is based on bogus statistics and QAnon concepts, but also Rolling Stone talking about Sound of Freedom is a superhero movie for dads with brainworms. What? The QAnon-tinged thriller about I can't say it, is designed to appeal to the conscience of a conspiracy Adler boomer. what are they talking about, man? Dude, it's just evil. And then the Washington Post, Sound of Freedom is a box office hit whose star embraces QAnon, doing anything they can to discredit this movie and the message that it's trying to spread, man. Once again, just absolutely evil. The low-budget film about I can't say it, almost topped the box office on July 4th, but its star, Jim Caviezel, I think is how you pronounce it, has linked it to the QAnon movement. And then also Fox News comes out with this article. Can't say that. A film, Sound of Freedom, trashed by liberal outlets as QAnon adjacent. Website Jezebel claimed at last QAnon's camp appeal gets the cinematic exploration it demands. So just absolutely evil, man, what these corporations, what these woke media outlets are trying to do to bury Sound of Freedom. I don't know if it's, I mean, I know why it is. It's because they're trying to protect the elites of the world, the elites that run their companies. I mean, the dude who in this clip is literally named Mike Rothschild. Like, come on, dude. It's very obvious what's going on here, but also I think that they don't like the fact that it's beating out the other movies such as Indiana Jones. Like it's absolutely embarrassing. Indiana Jones, Sound of Freedom is, with almost half the theaters playing the movie. Like it's pretty insane what's happening there. So there's so many reasons why they're trying to bury this movie, but I think the most evil one is the one that CNN, that, you know, the narrative that CNN and Rolling Stone and Washington Post are trying to say, that it's based on bogus statistics and it's just a QAnon conspiracy theory that these things are happening. Absolutely disgusting. Let me know what you're thinking about Sound of Freedom beating Indiana Jones and how these woke media outlets such as CNN are trying to bury Sound of Freedom. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments.